Thanks, Carolyn, for that report. We do want to turn our attention now over to the forecast, and it looks a little soggy, Brad, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've got rain moving in tonight and another wave tomorrow. So through the rest of the evening, we're dry in the Piedmont now, but by 8 or 9 o'clock, I expect some showers, maybe even some thunderstorms to be moving through, and into the overnight hours, they might be lingering for a while before the next wave moves through. You kind of see the main batch heading our way now. Now, it's not as severe as what's going on to our southwest, so we're going to escape the worst of this severe weather, but the leading edge has had some pretty gusty winds with it. The time of arrival, roughly around, I'd say 8 to maybe 7:30, 8:30 time frame, depending where you are across the I-77 corridor. It is picking up some speed. Cloud to ground lightning strikes with this cell in the upstate of South Carolina that has its eyes set on heading towards York County. Quite a bit of storm damage in parts of Watauga County. It looks like that one cell did knock down quite a few trees across the mountains. And one of the things about these dying thunderstorms, the winds aloft are still pretty strong. And when the mountains intersect those winds, you tend to see some damage up there. So don't be surprised if there are some really gusty winds with this leading edge because of the nature of it. I wouldn't be surprised to see 30, 35, 40 mile-an-hour winds along that leading edge. Down to the south, though, we've got stronger storms. That's where the risk for severe storms is tonight. You see the medium to high risk tomorrow. We'll all be in the lower risk for severe weather, but to the south, that risk will be closer to the medium threat. The main risk, damaging winds and flooding, but there is what we call a non-zero tornado threat with this. There could be an isolated tornado, especially south and east of I-85. And I'll show you what I mean. The first batch moves through again tonight. That will move out quickly, a lull tomorrow morning, and then the main batch moves through between about 9 and 10 o'clock. But you see some of these cells to the south. Got to watch some of these. These might be potentially the ones that could be the strongest with some damaging winds. And again, anywhere you see little indentations like that, there's always a chance that you could get a quick spin up. So again, that chance around, I'd say maybe 1-2% within 25 miles of any point on the map tomorrow. But the winds and the rain will be the bigger threat overall. So as we look at the timing of this, after the wave of rain tonight, there's a brief lull in the morning, and then right around 9 to 1 p.m. So that late morning, midday time frame, that's where we're looking at the potential for the strongest storms. One thing that works in our favor is the fact that we don't have a lot of instability or fuel for these storms over the Piedmont. There is some off to the southeast, and that's why the risk is a little bit higher there. That's where the atmosphere can kind of recover, and we'll actually see some of that low-level fuel for these thunderstorms. So even though we have the line moving in, that lack of fuel is going to help us out. As far as rain chances, again, tomorrow very high, then we get several days to dry out before more rain arrives next week, but we are going to see some significant rain. When you look at the potential rainfall here, an inch, inch and a half, certainly a possibility, maybe up to 2 inches. And this time of year, runoff is accelerated because of the lack of vegetation and dormant everything. There's nothing really using that moisture, so you tend to get a lot of runoff in very moist soil, so don't be surprised to see some flooding. Temperature-wise, cooling trend in the long range, but the next couple of days, it's going to stay spring-like with highs in the mid to upper 60s. Here's your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. Warm middle of the week, cooler for the weekend, but still above average. Our average high is the lowest it gets during the winter, 32 and 52. We'll stay probably below or above that. But then late next week, there are signs of maybe even cooler temperatures as a cooling trend with highs maybe in the upper 40s a week from Friday.